frustrated, and parents have had enough of watching their kids struggle with the public school system.
Do you see a demographic of homeschoolers? Do you keep track of that within Rich at all?
Demographic as far as
Color, race, income, education levels.
we don't formally track it, but I can say within Rich we have an extremely diverse group that I'm just entirely grateful for. We have every type of homeschooling method family, from eclectic to Charlotte Mason to well-trained mind to black, white, Muslim, Christian, non-Christian, pagan. So it's really a huge diversity of greatness in our group.
So we don't have the stereotypical, when people think homeschoolers, they think of, I hate the term, Bible bashing,
Mm-hmm.
Bible thumping people. I mean, there's those,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not your stereotypical homeschooler.
Oh gosh, is there a stereotypical homeschooler? I'm not sure that there even is one. I think it's probably an old wives' tale. I think that's what most people think of. But I think people are so diverse in their conversations with God and without God, and culture and family, and just how they direct their kids' education. It's really a phenomenal place to be, and it's just such a great place for our kids to be able to be around so much diversity and so much culture and so much education, not just from their parents but from other parents. When you get together, it's always a learning experience wherever we are. It's really great.
Your kids are not stuck at home all day with you.
Our kids are not stuck at home all day. I think that's also another wives' tale with homeschooling. We call it the S word, the socialization. I think it's the biggest question we're asked. What about the socialization? How are they going to be socialized? And really, it's just the opposite for homeschooled kids. We have car schooling, and as parents, you're driving all over the state to, karate, soccer, Girl Scouts, brownies, church, music lessons, choir lessons, all of those kinds of things. I think we're home less than we are home. There's time for, text work and formal sit down kind of learning, but stuck at home? No. We're not.
I know we just asked this question, but it would be nice to hear it in words. The part where there are so many people who believe that homeschooling is tied to this religious fanatical thing.
I think of when people watch TV, who do they see on TV that homeschools?
The Duggars.
The Duggars.
Yeah.
And the Duggar friends
Mm-hmm.
that come into the show, what do they look like?
Yeah.
So I think that when people think homeschoolers, that's where they go to.
Yeah.
The girls are only in dresses. They're taking care of the kids and the food, and the boys are doing whatever. And so I think we're trying to dispel that
Mm-hmm.
stereotypical.
So if we can say that into words, that homeschooling is not,
Yeah, dispelling the myth of what the typical homeschooler looks like. Oh boy, where do you even begin with that one? Again, I think we're just, as families, we're such special units. As, churchgoers, we're special units. As people that don't go to church, we're special units. And homeschooling is really about honoring the individual child and the individual parents. So there really isn't a stereotype, and the place we may go would be the typical, long-skirted denim jumper kind of homeschooling families. But if anyone takes the time to really get to know a homeschooling family and spends a day with us to see what we're about, they'll see it's just not that dynamic of what comes before us and what's ahead of us. It's a remarkable process that we're just entirely thrilled to be a part of.
Great. One other thing I wanted to ask, and any knowledge or any feelings about what could be causing the problems that the school systems have right, or the school system has right now? Does the union have anything to do with it? You know, I know that's something that we were talking about earlier, and we're not really sure. Sure if you have any light on that.
I don't know if unions have so much to do with the issues in public schooling. I really haven't seen much of that in talking to friends that are still public school teachers. I don't see the unions causing issues or pushing their agendas at all. Really, it's it's working from the top down in the state of Rhode Island. The Rhode Island Department of Education has set the standards, and they've dictated it to the different districts in the state of Rhode Island, and there's not a choice. It's do or die, and they're not given any choice as to what they can do. So I'm not sure that I know much about unions to.
We've seen a high percentage of homeschoolers leaving the public schools, not even homeschoolers, but moving to the charters and moving to the private schools just here in Rhode Island. Some have said that the unions are getting a little eerie of that because they're having, they're not needing as many teachers in the school districts, which is then pulling funds from the unions.
Interesting. I've not heard that about unions, but it will be something I research and find out to see about.
Not because they care about the education, but it's because of the money.
Because, well, I think in general the public school education is about the money and not about the kids. We know that with the funding from Race to the Top and the Common Core standards, that the money and the curriculum publishers and the Gates Foundation are behind the push for the standards. So, yeah, I don't know enough about the unions to say one way or the other, but it's interesting, I think, to learn about the charter school involvement and what that looks like as well.
Yeah.
Well, that in itself was interesting what you just said, and that's what we were trying to get is, is there a correlation between money, and
An
education system?
Oh, is there a correlation between money and the education system? Absolutely. I don't think anyone could possibly deny that piece of it. Every child that sits in a seat in public school, the schools are given a certain amount of funding, and our taxes go to public education. Even as homeschoolers, our taxes go to the town for public education. So it is absolutely 100% tied to money in the state with the federal funding that's coming down the pike and meeting standards, and you only get your funding if you meet those standards. So
What do you know or feel about voucher programs?
I do not know much about voucher programs. I don't even know that we have any in the state of Rhode Island. I don't believe we do. So I'm not sure I can comment enough on that.
Cool. Anything else?
Do you think you want to get behind the camera for a minute? See what it's
Ty.
like?
Wanna come
What do you
over
think,
here?
Ty? Come on, you can do it.
You want to put the microphone on?
Yeah.
It's fine. You feel the heat of the cameras on you. Do you want me to take a picture with that first? You can make it your screensaver, I bet.
Oh wait, I have to log in.
Oh, you log in. And we'll you can even let your mom do it.
I will do it for you.
It was great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very good.
it was fun. Great.
Very good.
If
I felt like I was.
no,
You did good.
You did a really good
Okay,
job.
go ahead and sit right there.
If there's anything that we can go to record, when people are getting together, things
Yes.
like that would be great.
Okay, can you put
I will,
this under your
I
shirt?
can actually send you a list.
No, you're gonna put